Let's learn about two more New Mexico state symbols. So let's go over our DLO. We'll learn about our state vegetable and our state mammal. Then we'll do the next pages in our book. Okay, I'll go first. Today I will investigate the New Mexico symbols, chili and frijoles, and black bear. Now it's your turn. Today I will investigate the New Mexico symbols, chili and frijoles, and black bear. Let's start with chili and frijoles. Chili and frijoles are our state vegetables, and when the legislative branch was debating on what should our state vegetable be, because that seemed to be an important topic in the day, back in 1965, I think it was, and they decided that it couldn't be just the chili, it couldn't be just the frijole. Frijoles are beans. They were inseparable, so we have two state vegetables. So on the next page of your book, you need to find the page that says, I see chili and frijoles looking at me. In your bag, I gave you some beans. The beans won't glue on whole like this. So what I did is I split them in half. And so if you split it in half, you can put glue on the flat part and glue it down, and it will stick with the glue stick. What I did, parents, family members, is I took my bean like this, I put it on the counter, and then I just smashed it a couple times with my phone, and then it split in half. So if you have a better way to split it in half, like this one, it just broke into two pieces. I didn't even touch it. That is how you will glue your beans down. And then your chilies, in the baggie, pull out your 2 chili peppers. In our state, we actually have a state question, red or green, or Christmas. So color 1 chili pepper red and 1 chili pepper green, and then cut them out. So I'll scooch up so that you can see me cutting and gluing, and then we'll talk about, easy there, Smokey. Then we'll talk about this guy here, our state mammal. So chili and frijoles, I'll put him right here. So my beans, just take your half a bean and just smear a chunk of glue on them and stick them on there, and he'll just stick. Frijoles, do you like pinto beans? Do you like black beans? Do you like no beans? I like lots of beans. I like lima beans. And beans were also an important food for the Native Americans that lived in this area. So, here we go. I'll do one more just for you guys. And then you can glue on your beans, however many you can get on there. Now I'm going to color my chili peppers. When I was growing up, my parents, we moved around a lot. My dad was in the Navy, so I'm called a Navy brat because we moved. And they grew up in New Mexico, and they always had, and if you color it and you color outside the lines, that's okay because we're going to cut it out. When I lived in Virginia, and when I lived in Florida, and when I lived in California, and in Colorado, my parents always came to New Mexico and bought green chili to bring it home. So I've always grown up with green chili, even though I didn't grow up in New Mexico. And so I always had green chili. We had green chili in all meals. And I'm going to do the stem green, as if I just picked it. So we used to roast our own green chili, and then this is going to be my green chili pepper here. We used to roast our own chili in Florida, and in Virginia, and in Colorado. But then I never knew that red chili existed, so I just grew up eating green chili. And then when I moved to New Mexico, someone said, do you want red chili? And I said, I've never had red chili. So I ate red chili, and now red chili is my favorite. And I told my parents, how come you never had red chili? It's so yummy. And they said, because we liked green chili. So I'm glad I had the opportunity to try red chili when I moved to New Mexico, because I love red chili. It's my but one of my favorite snacks is a freshly roasted green chili on a grilled tortilla with big tomato slices and garlic salt. You just wrap it up. I could eat those all day long. Yummy. So here's my little green chili. Get your glue. Let's put a smudge of glue on him. And glue it down. Here's my green chili. Now I need to cut out my red chili. So I like roasting green chilies. I love peeling green chilies. I like the smell of green chilies. But don't ask me to make a red chili sauce because I don't know how. I haven't figured it out yet. So my neighbor, she makes really good red chili sauce. So I always ask her, can you make me just a little bit of that? Okay. So she's nice and gives me some red chili sauce. Okay, here's my red chili. Put my smudge of glue on here. And there's my chili and frijoles. Now you need to write that in your blank spot. So let me put the lid on here. Get my pencil. So I see chili and frijoles looking at me. So down here you'll write chili. C-H-I-L-E. Chili and frijoles. So frijoles is another word for beans. It's Spanish. Frijoles. And the word is right up there if you don't know how to spell it. F-R-I-J-O-L-E-S. Chili and frijoles. What do you see? So after you do your chili and frijoles, go have a bowl of beans and chili. Then that page is done. Then you'll need your Smokey Bear page. Well, I always think I have all my stuff ready, and then I don't. So here's my yucca. Oh. Dang it. Hold on, folks. Let me scooch this back and figure out where. Oh, it's right here. Found it. Now you're going to need, I see a black bear looking at me. So let's talk about our state mammal. A mammal is an animal that has live babies, hair or fur on their body, ears that stick out. So those are some attributes of a mammal. And we will learn more about that in the springtime when we do our animal unit. But the most famous black bear that we have comes from New Mexico. His name is Smokey Bear. And Smokey Bear was a little cub that got rescued from a big wildfire in Lincoln County, New Mexico. Lincoln National Forest, I mean. So I have this really cool little book, and it talks about the fire started, and the fire spread through the whole forest, and it was disastrous. And the fire department tried so hard to stop the fire, but it just kept raging on, and a lot of animals died, and a lot of the forest was burned up. So after all of this tragedy, the Forest Servicemen, they looked around, and they saw nothing but dead burnt trees and a little burnt cub. So they picked up this little burnt cub out of a tree, and his paws were so burnt up, and you'll see it in the story. And they took him home, and a veterinarian bandaged him up and made him feel better. And then when he was recovering, Smokey Bear ended up flying all over the country, and he became the symbol of forest fire prevention. So one of the men put a little hat on him, and then they started illustrating him, and so he became very famous. He went on the radio, he was on TV, he did lots of commercials, and then talking to kids and families about making sure that you put out any fires that you have when you're camping. Drown the fires with a shovel and water, and dead out the campfires. Drown your campfires is what he says on the back. And I remember being a kid. Oh, here he says, dead out your campfires, stomp anything you put on the ground, and so that we can keep our New Mexico lands and all of our national forests beautiful. So now they've turned him into a cartoon with a little hat that says Smokey. His name is Smokey Bear. And give him a little shovel, because the Forest Service has their shovels, and then pants. I don't know if he ever really wore pants. Maybe, perhaps, but they definitely put a little hat on him. So you're going to make your black bear. Oh, I have a couple little posters here. Smokey, there he is with his little hat on here, and then here's another picture of Smokey on a bandana that I got, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. So now we're going to do our last page in Smokey Bear. Well, it'll be the black bear. And black bears aren't always black. They can be black, they can be brown, they can be cinnamon, they can be tan, and then there's like a gray or a blue black bear. So there's black bears all over our country, and today we're going to make a black bear, but with brown, because that is one of the colors that the black bear can be. The black bears that I've seen in New Mexico have a brown shade of color on them. So in your packet, we saved the brown from the bald eagle. And what I did is I teared it into big chunks. So in the eagle, we did smaller chunks. I want you to get a pile of brown chunks that you will be gluing. And then you also have a bag of, you have 2 white circles for the eyes, a black triangle for the nose you need to cut out, and then you have 2 brown ears. So I'll go as quick as I can, because I only have a couple minutes left of my video, for our black bear. What I want your family member to do to help you is draw a circle here for you to glue all of your brown pieces on here. So I'm going to draw a circle right here in the middle for the head of my black bear. About that size, a little smaller than my fist. So now, quick as a bunny, I will glue these on. Uh-oh, I keep moving that poster. My big old chair here. Scooch over, Smokey. So, I have my pile of brown pieces I'm going to put right here. Scooch up. And I'm going to smudge here and put a piece down. So then we'll make a tear bear, if you will. And I'll go around the edges first, I think, and then I'll go in the middle. So cover up the circle that you made. I don't think you want it too gigantic, but the tear gives it some depth and fluff to our animal. One time when I was camping, I think it was in Virginia, we were camping and my dad went to go on a mountain bike ride with my sister, and I was very jealous. I really wanted to go, but I wasn't invited. It was just my dad and my sister, so I didn't listen because I was about 8, and I snuck behind them. So after they left for their ride, I got on my bicycle and I tried to follow them through the woods and down the road at the campground. But I didn't want them to know I was following them, so I tried to stay behind, and then I got lost. How embarrassing. But I did know that if I were to get lost in the woods, to ask for help. So I found the Forest Service building, lodge, and I went in there. I was brave, and I said, I'm lost, I need help. Lost my parents. Tried to follow them on my bike. Like I said, I was kind of embarrassed, but I just told them I'm lost, and so they were able to drive around the campground and find the campsite, find my parents. But while they were searching for my parents, they gave me that little cartoon book of Smokey the Bear, and I remember that was the first time I ever learned about Smokey the Bear, because I got lost and I had this little book to read about Smokey. So ever since then, I've always had a little Smokey the Bear book because I think it's a good story to teach families and parents and kids about forest fires, even though I learned about them because I didn't listen to my parents and stay at the campsite. But it's still a good story of Smokey the Bear. Okay, so here's my last piece. So there's my bear head. Oh, I only have 30 seconds left. Dang it. Okay, sorry guys. Cut out the eyes. You'll need to draw some black on the eyes here. I would just do something like this and color it in. Glue it on. Cut out the ears. Put the ears up here and then put the little black nose on. So I'll post a picture of mine. Okay, now it's your turn.